Okay.
Welcome back to the Zach Winger Show. Today, I have a very, very, very special guest. That's your clue to who it is. There's a camera everywhere.
Wait, I forgot there's film in here. Fuck.
Why is that a problem?
It's not a problem.
Wouldn't you want film in your...
It's not. Camera? I just forgot to I put the motor drive on continuous, and it should be on singular, so I don't...
So you just wasted a couple?
Well, every time I go leave the house, stock and codec goes up, so it's kind of its own thing.
That's funny. I'm here with Josh, Meredith.
What's up? I'm well. I feel well.
Good.
I love it in the spring. The winter was tumultuous, but I feel like the weather is fine, and the summer will be even better.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for summer. Winter, my complex kind of looks like it shouldn't be in Indiana, and it looks like it should be in a place that like winter never happens.
Mm-hmm.
So winter was kind of rough. So I'm ready for the hot weather.
Yeah, this looks like it's like Arizona.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I was just thinking, it was like, I was able to find your apartment so well because I used to hang out with somebody in this mission complex.
Oh, nice.
It was nice. So that was before the pandemic, and I have slept, and there have been many drinks since then. There were many drinks during then, as I recall.
Speaking of drinks, tell me about this beer you brought.
Okay, you've never had Guinness?
No.
Okay.
I've never had a full Guinness before.
Now Guinness is a special treat. Like, I don't know what really got me on Guinness, but I will take a Guinness first, I will take a Yingling second, and a Budweiser third. And that is... You don't, like... I had listened to the show previously, and it was nice talking to Jonesy, listening. I was not an active participant within that show.
But did it feel like you were?
I would say
that's the vibe I'm going for. I want you to feel like you were kind of like there with us.
I felt like a fly on the wall.
Okay.
And I felt like I just wanted to, and it's just me because I'm mostly ego.
You wanted to say something?
Like, I wanted to say something. It's like, especially when you and Christian were talking about Black Sabbath. Is that I was mentioning this earlier, is that like we had, I was mentioning this earlier in the fact that I had to stop listening to the show to put on some Black Sabbath. And I was like, gosh, I should I hope Zach has a turntable. Maybe I should bring a couple records. And I'm like, oh, it's good times.
That'd be awesome.
But Guinness, yes, it's a special drink from Ireland. And they have made it, it's been around since the 60s, the nitrogen beer. And you have to pour it in a special way.
Yeah, explain that.
Okay.
I keep seeing videos, and they're like, you poured it wrong.
Yes, like you don't pour Guinness like you pour Budweiser.
You don't pour the whole thing, right?
You can, or you should, I think.
Well, at once, I thought.
Well, here's the way...
I keep interrupting.
Here's the way I say it. It's like Guinness is all like... Guinness, compared to other beers, is actually very good for you. If you don't feel the effects by the first pint, I recommend at least 2 more. Anyway, but you can hear the nitrogen. Like...
Whoa.
That is some space age shit.
Well, I interrupted it a little bit. I'm going to try I'll try one myself too.
Yeah.
Whoa. Why does it do that? Why is there nitrogen? Is that safe to drink?
Yes. It's like have you ever had Pepsi Nitro?
I don't think so.
It's the same thing, except it's beer. So like now we have to do it in a special way. You put the glass over the bottle. I have like a little 4-pack of cans. It's even good if it's in the bottle, but either way, you put the glass on top of it. And like most beer, you have to tilt the glass and pour it in.
Yeah.
Right? But this one, you have to put the glass on top of it, and then you immediately turn it upside down.
Why?
Because it's the rules. Oh shit.
This is awesome.
I hope I don't.
If you make a mess, that's okay.
If I make a mess, I probably won't. I'm not going to make a mess. I have a feeling
Done
that this is
before.
I have a feeling like I have enough experience that I know what I'm doing. And
I think the glass might be just a little too small to fit the whole thing.
Oh no, I think it's perfect. Oh, watch this. It's going to be fucking glorious.
Oh my god.
It's rising to the top.
Good.
Oh. And now we play the waiting game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can't drink it until the foam is gone.
You can't drink it until the foam is rise to the top. Good things you wait for. And the best things don't ask for attention.
Good things come to those who wait.
It's true. That
looks good.
Yeah, it's quite good.
So why is it so dark?
I don't know. It's Irish, I think.
I know.
I think that's the reason it's dark. Is it?
If you can't see through a beer, typically, it means it's more fruity.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see through this one because it's super dark.
It says, upon opening, the famous round plastic widget in every can unleashes nitrogen through the beer, creating a creamy head and iconic surge that is distinctively Guinness. Why am I saying it in an English accent? To best enjoy, open the can, wait for a moment to the nitrogen to release, pour into the glass tilted at 45 degrees. No, that is a lie. That is a lie. It's taking all the fun out of pouring out Guinness.
We just did the whole upside down thing.
Bastards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So am I allowed to drink it right out of the can?
You're allowed to drink it out of a can.
I'll wait until yours is ready.
Mine's ready. It should be ready.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, here. Do you say a thing? I say a thing.
You can say a thing.
Oh,
I know what you said. I can't remember it though.
I usually say another one we met on the road. We used to say on the road. We usually drink to hell. Here's to hell, gentlemen. May the stay there be as good as the way there.
That's pretty good. Cheers.
Or there was one I had. I met a guy who said, "Here's to good taste and good ass and the wisdom to know the difference."
That's good. All right, this is my first actual try, so here we go. That's not bad.
Yep.
Down the hatch. Nice. You just slammed your whole one.
Well, I said I'm only going to drink it down to there. I did slam that. It's refreshing.
Nice.
The first one is to get the job rolling.
Oh,
the
yeah.
second one is to is for sipping.
I've keep seeing this question online, and I wanted to ask you this.
Yeah.
What is the best amount of beers to drink?
Oh.
I think mine's a good 7 or 8.
That's like, how many cameras should you have? If you have a chance to have all of them, might as well have all of them.
That is a good answer too. In the right conditions.
Yes.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Well, Guinness is one of them beers where you just drink it really, really. I can drink it really, really fast.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. That's from years of debauchery, right there.
It's been a great episode already.
I actually didn't expect to drink that fast.
Yeah, that was really good.
Look at us day drinking.
I know. I was just thinking that too. I was like, it's 3 p.m. I think day drinking is the best time to drink.
I think it's a good time. I think we should bring it back. Bring it back to the 60s. You know what I mean?
Such a good sound.
It is. It's like listening to a kitty purr, except it's beer. Anyway. So I was up all night thinking about what the hell we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, I don't think we had a one-on-one conversation in many years.
Yeah, probably not since you graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have a surprise.
Oh shit.
I do. I have a surprise. And you're welcome to participate. If you don't, we can move on and do something else.
Okay.
I brought a game.
Oh.
We're Not Really Strangers.
Yeah.
Have you played this game?
Briefly, but I've heard a lot about it.
Okay,
I've heard a lot of good things. I might cry. But
yeah, we might both cry.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And that
I totally saw that on the counter earlier, but I kind of thought it was just something that I already had.
I tried to sneak it in for surprise input, and hopefully it worked.
It was still a surprise to me because even though I saw it earlier, I didn't really realize what it was.
Would you like to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This is good.
So, to play this game, we both have a Dig Deeper card, but considering I've misplaced the second one.
Oh, that's okay.
We have a shared Dig Deeper card, and it's transparent because it is to inspire transparency. Did I open a beer? Oh, here it is. Whew, I was almost concerned for a second.
I said I finished that one already, too.
Well, I'm going to try and pour this at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
As they look at this. The head isn't foaming properly.
Yeah, this is all wrong.
This is a fucking travesty. Look at this.
Can't believe this.
Fucking ridiculous.
You should see the comments on those posts where they're ruthless. They're like, you fucking poured it wrong.
It is a art form, okay? There's this one time in New York City, I went and we left Times Square to this little bar called the Long Acre, and we go in and there's...
Sorry, where was this? Times Square?
Yeah, and it's right off of it, and you're like, I think it was like the Millennium Theater. I think that's what you call it. I don't even care. That's not important. What is important? We go into this little bar called the Longacre, which apparently is like, there's different versions all over the United States. But there was this big Irish woman with red hair, and she stops and she goes, "Now what your boys like to drink?" And we all said, "Guinness." And she poured the most beautiful pint of, you didn't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
It was foaming like right at the top. It just had like
perfect, like the little bubble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
In a glass like that where it's like skinny and white.
Yes, it's the Guinness glass.
And it says Guinness on it.
Yes. And it's not like this shitty foam at the top because I poured it at a 45-degree angle. It was like perfectly like bubbly. I don't even know. It was just beautiful. I think I took a photo of it. I should have.
That's beautiful.
Because like I think that is how it's supposed to be. Anyway, the game. So since we do know each other, we can start off with level 1, and I guess you keep going until you want to go on to the next level.
Until you cry.
Until you cry. And of course, if any question is too intense, you go a pass. So I forget this first one's going down really easy. I think I forget who goes first.
I'm okay with anything. We can break the rules.
God, wait. We have to do this correctly.
Okay.
God damn it, Zach. Alrighty then. For 2 players, set aside player A draws a card, player B answers. Alternate back and forth until a minimum of 15 cards. We're not doing that. That's a lot. That's gonna be a lot of tears. We got a lot more to talk about than this fucking game, okay? Okay.
Oh, I'm okay if this takes all the time. I'm like, I purposely don't do any notes or like, the first couple of episodes I had like a couple like key conversation points that I want to talk about. But I ditched that because I want it to be as just real and whatever as possible. It can be, we can talk about cameras and art all day. We can talk about beer the whole time.
I'm autistic, okay with so whatever. My hyperfixations will keep you awake for many days. So anyway, since you are our most delegated host, why don't I go first and you can answer the first question?
Yeah, for sure.
Question 1. When did you lose your virginity? No. Okay.
Oh, that's too much.
No. It's too much. Pass. Okay, it's a wild card. So these are weird because they like have us. They want us to do like really funny Instagram shit, like really wholesome shit, like make paintings that say "Live, Laugh, and Love." One of these is, first off, this is for both players. Make an assumption about me. What is something?
So I do one about you, and you do one about me.
Yes.
Okay. An assumption.
These are hard.
Yeah, I don't.
God damn, they require us to use brain cells.
Yeah.
While drinking.
I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
I was expecting to answer something about myself. Now I've just switched gears in my head. An assumption. I'm gonna go more wholesome. Well, it's hard because I already know some stuff about you.
Yeah.
I would assume, based on my experience meeting you for the first time, that when you meet people for the first time, there's no, and this is in the best way possible, there's no like awkward phase, there's no shyness or anything. I would assume that you just hit it off with people right away and just make friends super quickly, and that like you have a lot of really good first interactions, I would assume.
I would say that is an accurate assumption.
Accurate or inaccurate?
An accurate assumption. I do meet friends fast, and it is very difficult because, you meet a lot of acquaintances like that, but there are a few, including yourself, which I think consider a good ride or die. And, I'm trying to think, though, because you assume something very, very insightful and wholesome. I assumed.
I know. I was like, do I go wholesome or do I go negative?
I assumed that as a kid you were really into Ratchet and Clank.
That's not true.
What?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to always, but I was an Xbox kid, not a PlayStation kid. Well, I was a Nintendo kid.
You're telling me this now?
Yeah.
We can't be friends.
No, but I always thought they were really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'll actually assume something wholesome about you. It may be not wholesome.
It can be any adjective.
Okay. I would say that my assumption going into this is that you are having the same experience that I did when I graduated college. And when was that I struggling to find my place in the world, like a small fish in a bigger pond. And I feel that this show is not only a broad byproduct of that, but not only is it a wonderful means of expression, an outlet or a platform, but I feel that it is bringing you closer to the people that made you enjoy art in the first place. Accurate assumption?
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty accurate.
Okay. Oh. What do you think my go-to karaoke song is?
Oh, man. This is... The only one I can think of is... Because I'm sure you will, like, list a few off and I'll be like, oh, like, obviously, like, how can I not think of that one or whatever? Because I feel like there are some that are just, like, would just make so much sense.
Yes.
But the one I'm going to say is the one that I've heard you suggest. It was, like, the one song that I remember you suggesting us to play when we were in either Louisville or Chicago for one of the photo trips or whatever.
It's probably...
But it was One Thing Leads to Another.
One Thing Leads to Another by The Fix.
Which I don't know if that's really a karaoke song.
I don't know if it is, but it should be.
I think that'd be good.
That's
I
a
could
good
see you
one.
up there. Yeah,
That is a
I
good
could
one.
see you doing that. So
yeah,
that'd be mine. I'd like to see you perform.
I
that
would.
Song.
I might have to change my karaoke song now. One thing leads to another. I would tear
It's
that
fun to sing.
up, dude. I would say my go-to karaoke song right now is Anthony, Billy Joel.
I don't think I'm familiar.
Anthony walks in the grocery store.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh,
I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but
Yeah.
yes, of course.
That was fun in New York. We were doing that. I was on tour with the band, and we were just doing that. We started singing it. Didn't look at the screen. It's like I'm almost a native.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, your turn. I shouldn't have drawn. You should have drawn.
Oh, it's okay. Are these all the same? Or
No, it's 1, 2, and 3. So
Okay.
you draw from this little pile.
I gotcha.
Make it good. Make it a good one.
Okay, I just. Oh, okay. We can do this, but it wouldn't translate well because this is like purely audio. But it says wildcard. Draw a picture together. Within 30 seconds.
Pick another card.
Yeah, we can save that for later.
Because radio is the theater of the mind.
Yeah.
We have choosing to pick another card.
Yes. By the way, speaking of that, I don't think I ever want to do video for this. That's my hot take.
Yes.
I don't know, something about. I don't want cameras and lights in our faces.
I
want
agree
it to
with
be
you.
laid
Like,
back
I don't think podcasts should do video. I think it's just an added thing. Like,
Thank you.
So that they could put it on YouTube or whatever.
Thank you.
I want to be able to cook dinner. And
Yes.
I don't want to sit and watch two people talk.
Yes, you don't watch a podcast.
What the fuck is it?
You
McLaughlin
listen.
Group? That's a
You
90s
listen.
reference.
I was like, I laugh. I don't know what you're talking about.
Google McLaughlin Group. There's just an old guy and 15 people sitting and talking about politics. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I remember. I would change it to Teletubbies.
That's exactly. That's funny. I do know Teletubbies. I think a podcast. You listen to a podcast. You don't watch a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Who sits? I'm sorry if you do this. If you sit and watch people talk for 2 hours, just sitting watching. You kind of like, you do the dishes or you cook some food.
Who wants to watch Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an ugly motherfucker. Sorry. Joe, if you're listening, you're an ugly motherfucker. Anyway, sorry.
You're making me laugh. Oh, that's funny.
I couldn't tell.
I know, my favorite is when after I'm done laughing, I go, "Oh, that's funny." It's like obviously, like I just laughed and I'm saying, "Oh, that was funny."
Ooh, the smoke is doing a cool little thing. Beautiful.
That is good.
Anyway,
are we getting high yet from the incense?
I don't know. I was telling you that story. Like you put on the incense, and I was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen next?" When I was in high school, we used to sit in this little room in my bedroom, and we lit so much incense, we left high. We were listening to Jefferson Airplane all night, listening to binaural beats. I was so happy for my little hippie friends.
Would you light like more than one at a time?
Dude, we had 5 going in like a little 5 foot by 7 foot room.
No wonder.
But that's actually what I wanted to talk about too, is that this reminds me a lot of what I used to do then. We used to put on these tapes, right? Like, my graduation present when I was 18, if this tells you anything about me, was a TX Simulsync 3340 SX reel-to-reel machine.
Whoa!
It's a big ass tape machine.
I was like, what even is that?
It's like it takes 7-inch magnetic tape reels.
Oh my god!
And what I would do is I would hook a karaoke mic up to it and hang it from the ceiling fan. And so for hours during the summer of 2018, whenever we all got together, I would put the tape machine on. Uh-huh. And what was neat too is that because it ran through the stereo, we could listen to music and the tape recorder could get going. So one channel would have the music we were listening to, and the other channel was the audio that we were recording. And here's the crazy thing though, is that I have a brief digression. You have that card, and it's your turn. But I'll be really fast with this. But in that summer, I was over at my friend Jasmine's house, and I recorded like a bunch of our conversations, like on the phone or on the tape machine or whatever. And she came over the other night. She called me, and I was home for like a fall fest or whatever, and she goes, "Hey, you have pictures from that?" I go, "Yeah, I do." And she goes, "Well, how much will it cost to?" I said, "It'll cost nothing." I said, "Bring me a bottle of Jameson whiskey, come over to the house, and we'll stay up all night in the dark room, and we'll print them out myself."
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so that's what we did. But she goes into the room, she goes, "I want to listen to our tapes." And these were like, that's 2018, 7 years ago now. Blech, gross.
Yeah.
Never age.
Yeah.
Never. I don't recommend it. But we went there, and we're listening to one tape, which just says, me, our friend Livia, and Jazz. And it's the summer, so whatever. We're sitting in her kitchen table, right? And her father says, "Good night, honey. I love you." And she goes, "Good night, Dad. I love you too." And she gasps. A week later, dude died in a car crash.
Oh my god.
And she goes, "You caught me saying that, you caught audio of my dad saying that he loves me." Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think about that. And I think like, recording this and mundane shit is like different. Like, I don't know. I'm going on a digression. My point is that I think this is very important, what you're doing.
Thank you.
And audio is something that, I don't know, bring a tape deck everywhere. Record your friends.
Yeah.
Record the sound of the snow falling.
Yeah, I think obviously it's nice for us we can listen to this years and years from now. But I think there is something valuable for people who have never even met us before that they can take away from whatever we decide to talk about.
Yeah.
So I think there is a lot of value in it. So thank you for saying that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Actually, I take it back. It's not a good thing.
This sucks.
This sucks. I mean, sorry.
No, you're okay. I'm okay with any side tangents we might take.
I'm gonna get a card too while you're waiting.
Okay, this is more surface level maybe, but maybe you have a deeper answer. But the card says, "Do I seem like a cat or a dog person?"
Oh.
And I guess I'll add my own and why.
I would say Zach's persona would be more of a... No, you seem like you have like a tiny little dog, like a Dachshund.
That's fair.
Or I don't know. It's hard to see what type of person you would be, cat or dog person.
I think I'll take that as a good thing. It's hard to pin me.
Maybe it's hard to pin him down.
Yeah.
It's hard to pin him down. What does my phone wallpaper tell about me?
As I do, I get to see it.
Where is my phone?
I was
Imagine that. It's in my pocket. A very
that.
good place to start. I don't have a wallpaper, but I do have this. It is like... There you go. It's the default Google wall theme.
I think that says about you that you are easy to please.
I pretty well am easy to please. Your turn.
I think being easy to please is a good thing.
Depends on who you are.
Okay, so. I don't know if I should read this out loud or not.
What does it say? Is it
I
naughty?
think it's something I need to do. No, it's not naughty.
It can be.
Maybe. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and I'll tell you after.
Okay, pass. Pick a new card.
Actually, okay.
You should pass.
It said make eye contact for 30 seconds and then see what happens.
Well, this is like a John Cage moment in audio. It's just 30 seconds of silence.
Yeah. Yeah, good call.
Let's do that after, and let's think about each other. And
we'll hold on to that one. Do I remind you of anyone? That's a good one.
That is a good one. Do you
Depending on how you answer.
Well, I would say that you're pretty unique in the friendscape. And
that's good.
I'm trying to think, like, do you remind me of anyone? You know, like, I'm thinking about my family, and I'm thinking about, actually, yeah, I'll go deep, and remember there's a dig deeper card, but I will go deep on this one. You two remind me of my brother when we were very younger. I don't know if it's just because of your look, or it's just because of your attitude. But, like, he was, when we were much younger, he seemed very sensitive. Maybe somebody that I, at the time, looked up to. Not saying I look up to you, but no, I would say I look up to you. Thanks. In a way. I would say that I view our relationship as important. Yeah. And to that degree, like, I see you not necessarily as a blood brother, but you're my brother. Yeah. I'll help you out. Yeah. But I don't know. You remind me of him when we were very young.
That's a good answer.
That's so strange, though. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Never mind, you remind me of my dad.
I fucking hate my dad.
I fucking hate my dad. What character would I play in a movie?
Oh, man. Huh. Well, I can see, like, I think I have two answers. I can see you literally playing yourself, like, in a movie as, like, or, like, somebody who's, like, a traveling photographer or, like, travels with artists or whatever, and...
Shit, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. My lungs just wanted to drink, too. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that'd be an awesome movie where it's, like, it follows you telling your stories or, like... something along those lines. I think that'd be awesome. Or I can see an animated movie where you're like the main character who's like just very like, not in a bad way, but like loud and bold and like crazy and gets into like all this like trouble and stuff, like accidentally falling into trouble and
yes,
stuff. Like,
yes.
Like a main character, like an animal or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but an animated movie.
I would do that. I would love to be an animated film.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Before I studied photography, I studied like voice acting
and
radio. So I could do a bunch of different voices.
Yeah, that's funny.
Your turn.
I keep getting these wild cards.
Pick another one.
Who do you think my celebrity crush is?
Ooh, okay.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna open another Guinness.
Question. I'm going to say childhood celebrity crush. Okay. First off, when were you born?
2002.
2002.
Just barely.
So it makes you 10 about 2012. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you grew up in, I would say, did you have a VHS or DVD player growing up?
I had a VHS for a while.
Okay.
And then but I'd say more like DVD and like on demand.
Okay.
Like, movies and stuff like Disney Channel.
Okay. Oh,
if that,
shit.
so maybe I gave away too much.
Okay. So, are you a Wizards of Waverly Place girl, or are you a Camp
I knew
Rock
I gave
girl?
away too much.
I'm going to say Selena Gomez
Yeah,
then.
100%. Yeah,
That journalism degree's coming in.
Yeah, you read me like a book. Maybe I gave it away with Disney Channel, but I think it kind of seemed like you were getting there anyway. So I don't feel like I spoiled anything.
Would you like to move on to level 2?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Level 2, she comes. All right, God, I need my fucking glasses.
I know. I was like, I can't see anything.
Okay. If you could have it your way, who would you be with, where would you be, and what would you be doing?
Sorry, I was putting my phone... I'm trying to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I don't know. I don't think I'm doing it right, but it's okay. We're just going to rock with it. Sorry,
Okay.
Repeat the question.
Anyway, it's not that it was important or anything. If you could have it your way, who would you be with, where would you be, and what would you be doing? Money, no option.
Who would I be with?
Endless opportunity.
What I would be doing would be making art or creating something or doing nothing and like relaxing.
Just chilling?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Big fan of just chilling.
Don't make art just for the sense that you feel that you need to make art.
Yeah.
If you could do anything, you would be chilling, which is subconsciously what I'm getting. Where and with who?
Somewhere warm-ish, but not like hot.
Okay.
Like kind of tropical, but not like too tropical.
So California.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not a big fan of California myself.
I think I'm more of an East Coast person.
Really? I am too.
Mm. There's a bit of a hot take. Apparently.
Fuck California.
Yeah. Dude, I said that on the first episode. And my friend texted me. He's like, dude, how could you say that about a place that you've never been to? He's like, why would you say that? And I was like, honestly, I didn't really mean it. Like, I just meant, like, LA's a little overrated, blah, blah. But I was like, I've never been. I'm sure I would love it, seriously. But
first time,
I said something, I was like, fuck LA. And he was like, you shouldn't say that, bro. I was like, and then you literally just went, fuck California.
Can I say, I have been to California.
Okay,
and
so you can say that.
And I reiterate, fuck California. Okay, like... I know, like, oh my gosh. I gotta tell you this story. This reminds me.
I can't wait for Austin when you listen to this. He's gonna text me and be like, dude. It's like, oh man.
Oh my god. But no, like, here's the thing. Like, I gotta tell you this story. Mm-hmm. I forget her name, but I used to have lunch with her.
Sorry, before you go into that, who I would be with would just be like any of my friends and family.
I dig it.
But
yeah.
that'd be the.
I feel the same.
But yeah.
Like, ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? 'Cause heaven is a place on earth.
And
anyway.
I'd have to have a couple of brewskis.
A couple brewskis.
But go on. With what
anyway, as I was saying, I used to have lunch with this girl at USI, and she was in my class, and she was really sweet. And we used to have lunch all the time. But she was from California, and God bless her, but she was dumber than a box of hair. And... she just couldn't, like, she's like, I've never been to Evansville. Is Evansville, like, I don't know.
This is while she's at USI?
Yes.
And she's saying she's never been to Evansville?
Yeah.
Even though she's in Evansville?
Yes. She goes, I've never been to Evansville. Like, what is Evansville known for something? I go, well, yeah, historically speaking, Evansville's pretty rich. I mean, it was the highest contributor to the war effort during World War II. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, that's really neat. Like, oh, so they brought... I thought her answer was going to be, oh, so they brought a lot of scrap metal. Oh, so they made a lot of planes.
Yeah.
Oh, so they made... No. Her response was, she stared off in the distance. She goes, World War II. Was that the one with the Nazis? And I go, yeah. You're good. You got it. Good for you. Pass the salt. No, God bless her. She was sweet, but she couldn't She couldn't find her way to her own ass with 2 hands and a map.
Hey, ignorance is bliss.
That it is. That it is.
I bet she lives such a peaceful life.
She fucking does. And it pisses me off.
I bet she's so happy.
As you said with Christian, she's so fucking happy.
Oh, dude, yeah. Fuck you for being happy.
For being happy. Is it
So
your turn?
fucking
Oh, yeah, it's
happy
your
all
turn.
the time. Thanks for listening. I'm glad you know some of the stuff we were talking about.
Well, Christian, here's the crazy thing, is that that's another thing I wanted to talk to you, like, about, like, I've been deep into this manifestation shit, and it's to the point now where it's fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah, it's
like,
real.
No, it's real. Like, it's seriously real. Like, and that's my advice to anybody, if, like, study that. Because being in the presence of being and presence of the universe and all that jazz, like, I'll probably dive into this a little deeper. But my point is that it is crazy. I was talking with Christian just the other day, and he goes, "Oh, I said we were talking about you or something." He goes, "Oh, I just saw Zach Winger. We just had I said, yeah, I see he has a podcast." And he was talking. He goes, "Yeah, I was just on," and I go, "Huh, I would like to be on the podcast, I think." And then a day later, you text me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Careful what you want for.
Yeah.
Because you might just get it.
Yeah. I get that at work. This is like a less like crazy example, but at work, like, I still work like my retail job or whatnot. But I'll be back in like the fitting room area. Mm-hmm. It'll be slow, and I'm like, man, like, I kind of wish it was more busy. And then it'll get like overwhelmingly busy, and I'm like stressed out and freaking out. Yeah.
Yes.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
But I really do believe in like manifestation and like thinking stuff into existence or speaking it into existence.
Yes.
It really is true.
I've said this to people, and I'm very happy that a lot of younger people are really graduating to this higher level of understanding, I feel. Like, I don't really think that it's more of an Eastern philosophy, but I think with our generation, with access to everything, you know, we've progressed to the point now that we're kind of digging a lot of this manifestation stuff, and I really dig it. Like, I think it's really cool.
I'm a big fan.
But that's what I always say too, is that, you know, I meet a lot of people that are at their wits' end, and they're thinking, "Oh God, you know, I want money, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that," and in the Buddhist aspect, you know, it's the wanting which kills you. Mm-hmm. It is the more you want, the more the universe will leave you wanting. But acknowledging the fact that you are already rich and already fine, and that you're not drowning, you're just in half an inch of water. Mm-hmm. If you stand up and stand in presence, and you say, "I don't need anything, I don't owe anything," and you tell the universe that you want something and that you already own it, the universe already has to give it to you. It has to, because that's just how that's how it works.
Yes. Awesome.
It's so crazy.
I'll cheers to that.
Cheers.
That is awesome.
To the universe.
I think more people need to know that.
This
Guinness is really good, by the way.
I think a lot of people, this is the thing, I think a lot of people know it. It's just that
practice it.
No,
or
like,
think about it.
They can't accelerate to that being of understanding. Like, how should I say? Like, when I was in a hectic space, especially out of school, I was, you know, oh yeah, I know I gotta speak shit into being, and like I gotta be like, I gotta be this, I gotta be that, and I'm gonna be believe it as if like gotta work harder, believe as if I already have it, and I believe that I'm gonna have it, and I'm gonna like, but no, my mental state is not there. Mm-hmm. You see, because I feel like it only works at one thing at a time. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fully accept that. You have to be done reaping what you've already sowed in order to sow again. Mm-hmm. And to experience that, you know, ground yourself in the present moment and then do it. Mm-hmm. Because presence is, and you can do this through many things, meditation, but a lot of people, what they spend their time doing is they keep thinking about the past and they keep thinking about the future and never the present moment. And the present moment, I feel, is the most important place to be in.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, I agree.
The Buddhists
totally
call
agree.
that Zen. Anyway, my point is...
It's hard to do, though. It's much easier said than done.
Yes.
As much as I wish I'd be like, I do that all the time. It's hard. It's hard. I feel like all I think about is the future. But
I feel like recently, like, I've, like, discovered it. I've discovered a way to mellow out, stand up. I'm not drunk. Mellow out, stand in presence.
how do you do it?
You can do it in little ways. Like,
I think the way I always think of it is to slow down.
Yeah.
That's the term I always put it in. It's like, deep breath. And it's like, I'm here in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tuesday afternoon. I'm here in Evansville. It's a cloudy day. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm here right now. And
For sure.
doing this right now. And this is nice. I feel good right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if that counts as, like, being present. But I don't know. I feel like it does. But
There's
how do you
ways that you
practice it?
can ground yourself to the present moment. Like, how should I say? You can do it through meditation. When I'm on the road a lot, a lot of times what I do is when I want to shoot musicians is that I'll snap here, snap there. Oh, I need to get this shot. I need to get that shot. And I'm going to move over here and get that shot. But a lot of times I just try and keep a moment to myself and rather not snap it. And a great way that I do it is that a lot of people do this to ground themselves if they have anxiety or something, is to go around a room and pick out like 7 red things or 7 yellow things. Do that, take a breath, and you'll step right into presence. And whatever you're doing will be perfect. Like, I don't even know how to say it. Is that like, another way to do it too is that you choose your thoughts the way you choose clothes in the morning. Because your thoughts are solely a human thing. I mean, this is, hippy-dippy, but it's spiritual in the sense that there's a separation between the mind, the body, and the soul. The body, simply the vessel, the soul being the creative aspect, and the mind being the engine that runs the body. If your mind stepped into this room, you'd probably think, God, what is this asshole doing here? Like, because you are the only person that's putting yourself down. And I've noticed that now, is that I catch myself putting myself down, and I stop and I think, no, I'm choosing these thoughts. You have no power over these thoughts. And my thoughts are, I'm not choosing to think this.
Isn't that a great, like, powerful moment when you decide to, like, switch from, like, negative to positive, and you're like, you know what? Like, my example is, like, if I'm, like, being lazy and I decide to, like, get up and work, be like, you know what? Like, because my mind is telling me, like, oh, I'm too tired, I'm too this, I'm too that. But then I switch to, you know what? I'm going to fucking get up and get after it and make it work or whatever. Like, that's a powerful feeling. That's a good feeling to have.
It's,
and I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about, but
it is similar.
That's how I relate to it.
I find that, it's all language. So, I mean, like, how should I say? It's all pointing to the same direction. And that is to maintain sentience and to go about your life with presence. And in order to do that, I've already explained how in order to do that. My point is that we're talking a lot about, like, what I think you would really love, especially now, too. This really helped me. You should try The Artist's Way by Julie Cameron. It's a book. It's kind of religious, but not really. She uses the word God. And the God word that she explains is that it's a being, a force, rather you call it source, universe, God.
Keep talking. I'm going to open the thingy. But...
Oh, we're getting too stoned now. But we talked to it about, how should I say? It's a connection to the creative source. And that creative source is solely it's solely a product of the soul. That does not sound like a smart sentence.
Solely a
product of the soul. It's purely a product of the soul.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
The critique with the criticism that you face within yourself, these worries and these anxieties, are a product of the mind. And you have to separate yourself from the two of them.
You're doing it to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, we're playing a game.
No, that was a really good that was a really valuable side tangent. Otherwise, I would have been like, all right, let's play the game.
All right. I just know that I'm a 1.5 Guinness in the quarter of 15 minutes. And I know that sooner or later I'm going to start slurring. And it's not going to be pretty.
I know, like, when I put the little clips to, like, do the automatic subtitles, it's really good at, like, picking up what words are saying, but it says like, please use clear speech and please use blah blah blah. It's like, by the end of this, I don't know if we'll
well, that ain't happening.
The Guinness is pretty enjoyable. The more I'm having, the more enjoyable. It just tastes like any other beer. But
yes,
the beginning it is a little bit more, maybe more like, not like bitter, but
it is bitter. It's barley, so it's
maybe like to the broader audience, like less enjoyable. But as a beer guy myself,
as a beer connoisseur, like that's the thing too, is that I didn't know that you were much of a beer connoisseur.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I love beer.
Yeah, that's ditto. I'll drink to that. And we did, and it was good. So saith the Lord. Anyway, you have a card.
I do have a card. Oh, this is a really good one.
Okay.
I think maybe we can both answer, maybe. But what has been your happiest memory of the past year?
Of the past year?
And we'll go, like, past 365 days or, like, 2024. But, like, yeah.
My happiest memories that I'm making right now are the ones that I'm making on the road and traveling. What I do now is what I'm hoping to do is I want to do musicians full time, like in my photography.
Yeah. For context, for people who might not know you, you travel with bands and take photos of them, for them, with them. Yeah, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's phenomenal. There's not there's not a lot of money with it, but I'll tell you what, man, it's the benefits.
Not about the money.
It's not about the money. Exactly.
And I wish people would understand that. But
here's the thing: is that like. Okay, I want to live.
But you're having so much fun, though.
Yes. Throughout this year, I'm really kind of getting my goals and where I want my life to be. And I want to meet interesting people.
Good.
I want to travel the world, and I want to do this. And I've already had what I need. Yeah. I don't want money. Are you kidding me? A great inspiration for me was a book called Right Place, Right Time, and it was by Bob Gruen. He was John and Yoko's photographer. His personal photographer. It's crazy shit. But he said, at the age of 75, every day I wake up unemployed. Some months are good, some months are tight.
Yeah.
But that is the cost. He goes, no safety net is the cost of the life that I've lived.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And I'm wanting to get further away from the safety net, I think. And I think living on the edge is really a way to do it. And the best memories I've had was just traveling with these guys, you know. I mostly travel with one band, and I will be honest, you know, like that's what I do, and I want to do it more. But you know, for other bands, you know, I travel to Louisville, to Nashville, to St. Louis. A lot of time on the road. I imagine by the time I pass away, that I'll be a quarter of my life will be spent sleeping
in a car, yeah,
or a quarter in a car, and a quarter in or a third in a car, and a third taking photos.
That's funny. I think what you said about the safety net, there's a lot of truth to. I talked with Caleb on his episode with Caleb Josie. We talked about like how him and I are kind of like playing it safe for now, but at the same time I wonder, am I setting myself up for failure by having a safety net? Like, should I just go for it, whatever it is, and just like, you know what I mean?
I feel like, here's the thing.
Because I totally agree with what you said about the safety net. Yeah,
it's great, but you have to know how to go for it.
Yeah.
You have to have a trajectory in which to set your stars at. And, God, that sounds so weird. But we need a star map. We're going to the moon. But what I mean is you need to have a trajectory in which to aim at. And I think that trajectory is a lot easier. Jesus Christ. That was your second.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Slamming them.
Damn. You're drinking faster than I am. Lord.
You said, all right, let me finish this.
Damn, the guys with, the great Leaning Tower of Guinness. Oh, my Lord. The Irish would be so proud. There's four pints of Guinness stacked on top of each other. God, that's the thing of beauty, isn't it?
It is.
Well, off to the line, Krugel.
So now what? For spillage reasons, I'm actually gonna deconstruct the tower.
Yeah.
But it was nice for a second.
Yeah, it was. That's what they say. Ready? Here we go.
Hard crack.
Hard crack. Ready? Open them both. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gorgeous. Here's to you, and here's to me. And if we ever disagree, then fuck you. Here's to me. That is good. Quite lemony.
Never had it before?
Never had a summer
I
shandy.
love it. I love it.
It's a groovy old thing. Anyway, what was I talking about?
Trajectory.
Oh, no, we were talking about the
Safety net.
card. Yes, trajectory, safety net, all that jazz.
I still need to read my next card.
you
Wait, no, I just did. That's how we got to this, was because I asked my card about
I'll
what's
read
your
a little
happiest
bit
memory.
then. What is your happiest memory of the past year?
That's good. That's a good one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I feel this almost feels really sad, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I have a happiest memory of the past year.
It's not something you really think about.
Yeah. Usually I'm pretty good about like thinking about things that make me happy, but the first thing that comes to mind is when my friends from back home came to visit, and just that weekend we had that's a happy memory. Going back home for Christmas was good, and those are good memories, and seeing my family and all that, and like the laughs we had. But I don't know, I feel like the last year has been like relatively like not uneventful, but I don't know, like my graduation wasn't like, I wouldn't put that as like a super happy memory. It was just kind of like just, I don't know,
You just one of them run the mill then.
I don't know. Damn, that kind of makes me sad to think about. I'm like, I don't know what my happiest memory is.
You're fine. My first year out of college, and I tell this to anybody, it was the roughest of my entire life. I went into a very deep
I remember
depression.
you telling me about that.
Yeah, like I was in bed for 6 months.
It's hard to get up out of bed.
It's not
Sometimes.
just like, it's not just that, but if you can't take it day by day, just take it hour by hour, you know. But I was in a weird situation, I would say. Not only did getting out of school and thinking about what prospects I had in mind, but I was like, gosh, I have a degree in this and that, and I'm like, it's been 5 years and I didn't really think about this. Fuck. Maybe I should get into weddings. Oh, fuck, I'd be terrible at that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should do this, do that. And I didn't even know how to get into weddings if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just going to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And
that's the easy answer.
that is an
It's
easy
just-
answer. The only thing I remember really from 2023 was I graduated, and then those guys got caught in the submarine. and then out of sheer...
And everyone was like, fuck those guys. They were like, they deserve it. I was like, whoa.
Well, no, not only that, but that's like, then I was in bed, and this is how magic fate is. I got up one morning and burp at the mic. Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
I will next time.
But no, I remember that happened. And I remember I was trying to work with musicians and doing stuff because I had photographed, God, that's mostly head.
So you pour out a 45 degree?
Any other situation, that would be wonderful. But with beer, it's not. No.
See how you can't see through it? It means it's fruity.
But, God damn, that is all head.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. No, but my point is that that year, I was just, for some reason, I got up at 9 in the morning.
I'm doing that right now, too.
And
That's
like,
weird that we're like, I feel like we're living the same thing. Because I'll wake up, I'm normally, like my whole life, sorry to cut you off, my whole life I was such a sleeping in person.
Yeah.
And like would sleep in all day if I didn't have anything to do.
I still am
now,
in
even if I
place.
have nothing to do, I wake up at 9 a.m. every day.
I wake up at 10. I go to bed at 4. And I'm like, what the fuck? But my point is that at that weird situation in my life, I woke up at 9 in the morning. And somebody called me. And they said, hey, what's up? I was like, nothing much.
Yeah,
What's
you're
up
like,
with
"Just woke
you?
up." Yeah.
And he's like, nothing, just hang with my kid. And he said, hey, Stu gave me your number. You free for a month? I said, I could be.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I need somebody to carry my bags and take pictures of me on the road. Out of everything, out of my absolutely, which I am starting to realize is otherworldly luck, was brought into the industry just by somebody who heard that I did good work.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And like, it was hard to get out of that rut, but that's certainly what happened.
That's
and
such a good feeling, though, I bet.
it was a good feeling.
That's
because
awesome.
for a month I didn't have a care.
I'm happy for you for that. That's awesome.
It was a good time. That was the best time of my life.
And I feel like, and that's kind of what, like, I don't know if you spoke or thought that into existence, but like, you're going through this tough time, and it is hard to get up out of bed every day, and then all it takes is a little phone call, and you're like, holy shit, like...
Maybe I did speak it into
go,
existence, but in many ways I think the universe was giving me a break.
Mm-hmm. Rick Rubin said... I've talked about Rick Rubin almost every episode, but Rick Rubin says there's whatever, like... I'm trying to think how to say it. Whatever you're, like, wishing for or hoping for... I'm gonna, like, totally butcher this, but... Whatever happens to you or could happen or you want to happen, the universe was going to do that thing for you anyway. Mm-hmm. And like you taking your photos, you making your art, you doing whatever you're doing, like that was going to happen. Like that's the universe just doing its thing. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Yeah. I kind of like... It's not making total sense. Maybe these beers are starting to get to me.
We drank a lot. But I don't know if we drank
in a very short amount of time.
I don't know if you drank this much in other episodes.
Not quite. Let's keep going. There's more beer in the fridge.
Fucking Christ. Let's go.
Well, I'll buy you an Uber home.
I'll take a nap.
We'll either take a nap or I'll send you an Uber home and we'll get your car tomorrow.
Oh, we'll fine. We're fine.
Give this guy the keys.
Hey, no, this is my favorite joke. No, you're too drunk. Give me your keys. Give me your keys. Now you take my keys.
Oh my God.
And we're both safe to drive.
I just saw that. Is that from Family Guy?
It is from Family Guy. It's old.
I just saw that. I think I literally saw that today. On Instagram.
That is hilarious. That's one of my favorites.
That's pretty good.
My God. Anyway, I have a card. I found one.
Yes.
While we were talking. I was being mischievous.
Oh.
Are you lying to yourself about anything? That's a tough one. I'm glad that I picked this card and you didn't.
Yeah. You're like, fuck. I think the short answer is yes. I think I wouldn't go as far as say like everybody does this all the time, but I think sometimes everybody does. Here, I have a burp. I'm gonna burp into the mic.
Okay. Wow, that was a good burp. That was like an 8.
My family's a burping family.
We
love to burp.
We're a farting family. That's fun. The only thing I want to
farting family. That's good.
That's the only thing we talk about these days is coffee, shit, and rain. That's what I want to make an album called Coffee, Shit, and Rain because that's all that anybody talks about.
That's really good. Coffee, shit, and rain. That's really good. I think I'm lying to myself that I like... this is like fairly deep or whatever, but...
You look good. Keep being deep. Give me deep.
I think I'm lying to myself about... Sorry, just for audio. This is Josh taking photos, by the way.
If it wasn't fucking obvious, keep going.
If it wasn't obvious. It's like, click, click, click. Like, what's that sound?
Anyway, you're lying to yourself about something I want to know, goddammit.
I know, keeping you guys on your toes.
Fucking Christ. Edging us over here.
That's like the fucking hardest podcast to listen to. It's like, what is he going to say?
5 drunk people, 2 rooms, 3 days, 5 people. Anyway, what were you saying? Get back to that.
I think I'm lying to myself that I'm happy being on my own. Or being like totally... I'm not totally alone, and I have people in my life, and I have friends, and I have family, and I have coworkers, and I have whatever else. Like, I have people in my life around me, but I don't think I'm happy when I'm alone. I think, like, I tell myself, like, I need my alone time, which is still true, and I need time to recharge and whatnot, but who am I without other people? You know what I mean? Like, why even do anything? Like, living just being just on your own all the time, it's terrible.
I feel that certainly.
It's hard.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I've learned that my ADHD needs me to be an extrovert, but my autism needs me to be an introvert in many ways.
Yeah.
And so, like, and I need to feed them in different ways. There's two wolves living inside me. They're gay. No, but my point... Sorry. My point is...
There's a time and a place for each.
Yeah, well, I that's what I mean, too. And I think self-isolationism is really my... I feel like it's my fatal flaw.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's hard.
If you're alone with your thoughts, you're going to fucking... It's
you're
scary.
Sad and...
Because there's no... I don't know. If you let your thoughts get to you, it's definitely heavy.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
I don't really understand it. Because sometimes I'm like... I just texted... like, Drew Head the other day texted me and said, oh, like, do you want to hang out? And I was like... And, like, I mean, you know who I am. Like, I'm almost as extroverted as it gets. Like, I always want to be doing something all the time. But that day I was just like... I don't think I can handle any, like, social interaction right now. Which was, like, so not normal for me because I am, like I just said, like, being alone sucks. And I almost always want to be speaking to somebody or doing something where I'm not alone. But in that moment, I was just like, I don't know, I just needed to recharge or whatever it was. It was weird.
Sorry,
I was like, what is funny right now?
I thought about the gay wolves. I wonder how they're doing. Anyway, sorry. I'm a tinge drunk. But I'm just smidgen.
I was like, did I say something funny?
Sorry. No, it was very serious. And I was trying to be as serious as possible. And thinking about how serious I was. Anyway, is it my turn or your turn?
Can an alpha wolf be gay?
In more ways than you think. Your turn, pick a card, any card.
I'm going to stick to level 2. We'll upgrade in a minute. I don't know if we can handle level 3.
This is level 2. God, you dropping
cards
on the floor. Oh my God.
Whatever you do, don't stand up.
God, we're going to have to redo this whole fucking show.
Oh no, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want it to be. Deep breath.
Deep breath. Serious.
Do you ever do that? You shake off the being drunk? You just shake your head and you're...
Well, I've always been able to play a really good drunk because, you see, a drunk person isn't drunk. A drunk person is a person trying to be sober.
That's good. That's funny. Oh my God. I don't know if how I would answer this.
So you're glad I'm answering it.
Good thing you're the one who answered. This is what the card says. What is the last thing you lied to your mother about?
Oh.
I don't know.
My mama. Good old Sharon Jean.
I don't lie to my mom, really.
That's not her name. But,
you're making me wheeze laugh. I don't usually wheeze laugh, but I think being around you...
My problem is that I make a joke about everything. It's because of trauma. And...
hey, it makes it easier to
It makes it easier, yes. But, goodness. I don't know what I lied about to my mom about. You see, I was one of them kids that... my brother was different. He would lie about everything. And my mom would catch him in a white lie. And she would say... I know you're lying, and I have fucking receipts, bitch. And she would go, babada, 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 babada. He goes, well, you're fucking crazy. He'd slam the door, and he'd come back an hour and a half later, and he goes, well, I was lying. And she would turn to me as a kid, and I would say, and she would say, "Well, I think you're lying," and you're like, "Fuck, you got me!
Yeah.
I was lying this whole time."
My mom scared the shit out of me, like, to not lie or be bad or anything.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I try
never
not
could.
to. I don't know if I try. I try not to lie to my mom.
Doesn't it feel fucked up?
It
like,
feels
that should be like
fucked
the
up to lie
one
to your
person
mom.
you shouldn't lie to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, it depends if your mom's fucked up or my
Yeah,
mom's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
But
if you have a good mother, then
yeah,
it feels fucked up.
like, I don't know what I've lied to her about. Maybe I do it so much it's subconscious at this point.
I don't. Mine, I think, would just be like, when I was like a teenager, I was like, I lied about like I came home from like a night of like drinking at my friend's house, and I'd be like, she'd be like, "What'd you do?" I'd be like, just the usual, you know, like play video games, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't lie, but I hid the truth. Like, otherwise, like I don't know, I have no
hiding the truth is I feel is different.
Yeah. I have no purpose to lie to my mom.
Neither do I. But
I don't do bad shit that my mom doesn't
my
know
mom
about.
is overtly concerned with me. Like this one time I was in Louisville. I was shooting a show and somehow ended up in this Irish pub. And I met these two comedians.
Oh no, I ended up at a bar. That's one of my favorite jokes is like you're driving and like you end up at like a liquor store and you're like,
yes.
oh no, like how did I end up here?
I move my left foot and my right foot and I'm at the liquor store.
Yeah. It's like, and that's the universe doing its thing.
Yes, exactly.
You were gonna end up there regardless.
Precisely. But I go
Anyway.
there and she
Irish pub.
Well, she had texted me and she's like, "It's 3 a.m. Are you coming home?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing awake at 3 a.m.?"
Yeah. That's
Just be like, but she's mom. And I remember I would say, no, nothing. I just met these two drunks at this Irish pub. They were quite chill. But I was chatting with them, but I'm heading home soon. And she goes, "Couple of drinks. Are you safe to drive?" I said, "That's drunks, not drinks." And, yeah, like she has that concern over me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate her through that.
Yeah.
But most times it's fucking exhausting. So a lot of times what I'm lying to my mother about is just to keep her from exhausting herself.
Yeah. And that's valid. I feel like that's fair.
Let's go level 2. Ooh.
Next one I'll go level 3.
That's too deep.
Uh-oh. What was it?
Was like,
do we even want to...
Nope.
God.
You're not prepared to answer that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I feel like... Really?
It was too simple, but I think it was too deep. Like, it literally said, "How are you?"
Oh. We all started like crying.
It's like, fuck, here come the waterworks. Here we go. I have a good feeling about this one. Ooh. This is deep.
I'm willing to cry if I need to.
Fuck. What, can you cry on command?
I wish. Sometimes. I think I can actually... I think I could. I think if I start thinking about like...
I think I
past
could.
Shit or whatever.
You get me in a drama, give me a scene, I'll fucking do it.
I think, give me like 2 minutes, I think I could cry.
I could try.
I could cry.
Anyway, what part of your life works? What part of your life hurts?
Did you say works? Like currently?
Yes.
The part that works is me putting positive energy out into the world. And this is kind of going to be the same answer for what hurts. Mm-hmm. But you can... What I try to do is be positive, show love, spread love, and make other people happy, make myself happy. I love doing that. There's nothing better in the world than doing that. Mm-hmm. That I feel like that is literally what I'm here for, is to like just be positive, be a little ray of sunshine, and make other people feel that and create this good energy. So that's what's working. Mm-hmm. I feel like my friends feel that, my family feels that, I feel it. That is going good, and I feel like that's a good thing that I have going on. But sometimes, I don't know, just the negative stuff that you can't control sometimes makes it hard. to be positive. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. But,
that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's the part that sometimes isn't working. Is like, or the part that hurts is what the card said. But it does hurt when you're trying to be positive and spread love, and you just don't get it back.
I spilled beer everywhere.
That's okay. I don't know how that happened. But
That was actually quite amazing. Yeah. That was a good spill. I think. It just like out all over the table.
That's funny too because this.
I kind of want to lick it up.
Do it. Go for it. The table's fairly clean.
Fuck off. Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's funny. I just dropped like probably the most like serious part of the episode so far. Like, right, it could not be more perfect timing for you to spill your beer on the table. I was like, what?
Anyway, we ready for level 3?
Luckily, I finished my thought, but
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I thought
I was gonna take a drag.
I was kind of getting ready to cry, almost.
Okay,
but
you ready for level 3?
Oh shit, that's funny.
I don't know if I am. Let's see. That's level 1. That's level 1. We're going back to. Oh wait, that is level 3.
Yep,
You're
too
right.
drunk.
We're too drunk. God damn, can we read?
Okay, you'll have to answer this for me.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? Like you'll tell me. It's about me.
Okay.
What do you think I should know about myself that I might not be aware of?
Oh my god, I'm so okay. I was looking through these cards and I'm so glad
That's a good one.
Pulled this one because I was actually thinking about an answer for this, right?
Okay, good. For me?
Yes.
It's like, you're a fucking asshole.
That perhaps, what should you know about yourself that perhaps I'm unaware of? I was thinking about this on the ride over here. Mm-hmm. This is crazy that you picked up this card, just at random.
Manifestation.
But, yes. But, get this. Mm-hmm. I feel what you don't know about yourself is that your sensitivity is not and I feel you're a very sensitive guy, and I don't mean that in the wrong way, but I feel that your sensitivity is your greatest attribute. It is not a thing that you should be, it is not a weakness in any sense of the word. Your sensitivity is how you see the world. And I think that diving into that sensitivity is very, very important because strong feelings mean strong empathy, strong in that sense of the word. I think you have strong empathy. And I feel that that's very important to yourself, to your work. And I think that you need to know that your sensitivity is not a form of weakness.
Thank you.
You should not be mistaken for that.
That's a really good answer.
I'm glad.
Sometimes, and I know I'm a sensitive person, and I think most of the time I do agree that I think it's a good thing. Like, I'd rather be extremely sensitive than extremely insensitive. Mm-hmm. But again, like, sometimes, like, kind of what I might have kind of foreshadowed earlier, like, it sometimes does, like, bite me in the ass, where, I'm so sensitive where I worry about everything and I want things to go well or whatever the case might be, where sometimes it does feel like a flaw. Mm-hmm. But no, thank you. That's a really good thing to hear. So
I'm glad. I'm very glad.
Thanks.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us. Yeah. Cheers. Fuck that.
Didn't spill beer that time.
Anyway. Oh, great. This is going to feed my narcissistic ego.
Hell yeah.
What do you admire? Hell yeah. What do you admire most about me?
Oh, good.
I'm going to cry now. just to
I
start.
think I kind of foreshadowed this earlier, but just the connections you have with people are so strong and so deep. Like, that's something I feel like I have sometimes, but I'm like, you just have something about you that is just so, like, I don't know, you have a really, really powerful energy to you.
Well, thank you.
And I just... Sorry, can you read the card?
What do you admire most about me?
Yeah, I admire that, just the energy that you have. Obviously, like, I don't know what goes on in your personal life, and you go through hard times or whatever, but the way you present yourself is always like so good and positive, and I really, really admire that, because I bet it's much harder to do than it comes off. Where it comes like, oh, he's always in a good mood or whatever, but you really are amazing at spreading joy and positivity and just bringing like the best out of yourself and the best out of other people. So I really do admire that.
I've tried. That's what I try to do that, and I don't know where that comes from. I think it comes from, like, my history and, maybe how I grew up, and I'm very glad that I've inherited that.
That's a good thing to have. Not everybody has that.
Yeah. My grandmother...
It's a rare thing, actually, is that people have.
My grandmother was like that, and I'm so glad that I got that from her. She was gosh, I wish I could have a whole 2 hours talking about stories with her. She was the same way in many senses. She once went vacationing to Las Vegas, and she ran someone she knew on the Strip. Ran into somebody she knew. And but I'm so glad that I've inherited that sensibility, and I'm so glad that I've graduated to that, because about the time that I was like 13 or 14, I didn't want to go out in public.
How come?
I think it's because I was different and I knew it. And that was a hard thing to understand. And I don't really talk a lot about that time, because that time growing up, going through school, is because it was hard to relate to people, and it was hard to find my friends. I can remember I would talk to Christian Schmitz with this, who you've had on the show. And he had said, gosh, I really loved growing up, spending a sleepover at a friend's house. And he goes, what was that like for you? And I said, I didn't stay over at a friend's house till I was 17.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I'm to a point now where I have a friend group and I have the ability to make for Jesus Christ, you're down in You're doing it worse than
Damn it,
I am.
I was trying to slowly do that so it wouldn't distract you from your thought.
It's not, but I'm holy fuck. You drink worse than I do. Jesus Christ, Zach. And you're a little feller.
I love beer. I'm telling you.
Fuck. Down the hatch. Overlooks past the gums. Look at stomach, here it comes. No, but getting in my past, I'm glad that was my goal to reach this point at some point in my life, and I'm glad that I'm doing it now.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
To know, and it's not selfish, and it's not anything negative to acknowledge yourself that that you are doing a good thing, and that you do provide good energy to the world. I feel like that's the least anybody could do. But a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I know that I'm a big personality. I know that's intimidating to people. What I try to do, especially now, is I want to try and keep my ego in check, and that's a big thing. So I know that the more people I meet, the more I will reach that level of success in which I'm looking for. And I fear that I will lose myself. It's either one of the two that I find. When you become famous or you become successful, you either become all ego or you become hyper authentic. And my goal is to be the latter.
Me too.
And I want to keep my ego in check, because I know for certain if I don't, then I will lose myself to it. And
that's a scary thought, isn't it?
It is a scary thought, considering that I know that I am a big personality. And it's not narcissistic solely to have an ego, but it is, everybody has narcissistic traits, but not everybody is a complete and utter narcissist.
Yeah.
But my point that I'm saying is that I feel at this time in my life, that is something I need to keep in check, because I have seen people where it has taken over their lives, and it's sad. It's empty. There's an emptiness behind the eyes.
I'm scared it's gonna happen to me. What if this podcast takes off and I start interviewing high profile people or whatever.
I
or
mean,
like
you just had Barack Obama 2 weeks ago.
Or like, what if my art starts to get really good and I start making a lot of money or whatever? Like, I feel like it would be almost easy to fall into that trap of the ego taking over and being this like influencer or whatever. Like, but the hyper authentic, that's a great way to put it, because that's what I want to be like. And I feel like me doing, and maybe this is a bit of a narcissistic trait, but I think my hyper authentic self is someone that people can relate to, and someone that people can learn from or take something from.
Solely, yeah.
I think so.
Like, and
that's the kind of the whole point for starting this.
They can do the same thing to the ego too. And I was having a chat with some chick I met on TikTok, and I don't say chick in the derogatory term. She was a prepubescent chicken, and
chick.
No, but I mean, we were discussing how nowadays there's cults everywhere. And not just cults in the sense of, join my camp community, we're worshiping great Gaia.
Yeah.
No, I mean like in the sense of, this is what I do, I made it in the industry, join my masterclass. Like, I feel it's culty behavior.
I don't like that.
And rather than making a community, they want to sell a commodity.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like it either.
Take my online class.
Yeah,
learn from me. This is how I do it.
And like, I just feel like the more people, I mean, I've seen people like that with concert photography. There's one which I scroll just past now, and I won't mention their name.
Yeah.
But my point now is that like, I feel that when people grab a hold of that sense of success, it just feeds the ego. The ego grows so large that they feel that they need to give it away. Like they need to give away their information.
So like, no one asked for it.
No. But if somebody, came to me and they said, "Oh, how do I push film? How do I do?" I would more than happily tell them.
How about you take my online course? Yeah.
Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, in this free guide you can, if you give me your email to put on my email list. Like, I think that with social media, there's more culty behavior and there's less authentic behavior. But I'm kind of glad there is, because it makes those authentic people all the more
better.
So much better.
That's what I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm kind of committed to for however long this goes, recording every single episode just on my phone. Just for it's so minimal.
Yeah.
And we're talking. Like, we acknowledge that we're recording, and we acknowledge, like, whoever might be listening, but there's no lights, there's no big microphones in our faces. It's like, we're talking. Like, this is real, and I think the realness of it eventually will catch on. And I think somebody somewhere is gonna take something good from it.
And maybe in ways that you won't think. Maybe this podcast won't take off.
Maybe it won't.
And
maybe no
but here's the thing: is that
it's valuable to us.
Right now, it's valuable to us, and really, that's I feel that's the only thing that matters. It's valuable to our friend group for sure, and I feel that it. How should I even say? Like, right now, it's giving you a creative outlet to do what you need to survive this time out of school.
I feel like even if, like, quote, nobody's listening, like, people listen, our friends listen or whatever, and I'm super, super thankful for those who do listen.
We know where you live.
The birds chirping. I purposely opened the window because I wanted the people to feel like they're
Spring
with us.
is here.
Yeah.
Life is skills. Life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do. Don't you? Of course you do.
Whoa, that's
Don't
good.
you know this one?
But
there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and makes every Sunday a treat for me. All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon while we poison the pigeons in the park.
That's good.
You don't know
I never
that
heard
one?
that. I don't know that.
Tom Lehrer
I know it now.
is a genius. Look that up,
What was I
whoever
saying?
you are.
Yeah. What was I saying?
Anyway.
Oh, it's valuable to us and it's valuable to our friends. And it is good. Like, it is a good, positive thing. But my goal eventually is that, like, one person somewhere that has no idea who we are will be like, I like what these people are saying, and I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, that's the goal.
If anything,
it doesn't have to get huge.
They'll have the connectivity to understand that these people who are far away from us are very similar to us.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our generation, our generation is the most connected generation in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, that while we are the most connected, we are in our own echo chambers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in our own ways of thinking that we are, in fact, the most connected and the most disconnected.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the same thing. Nobody's doing the same thing. It's such a weird time.
Yeah. I forget who said it, but someone was talking about, like, being, like, hateful or, like, racist or whatever. And it's like, you got to realize, like, we have so much more in common with anybody on this earth than we could ever have not in common.
Yeah.
Or, like, differences or whatever.
Well,
like, wouldn't you rather just, like, love somebody?
No, racism is better. No, I mean, like, well, here's the thing, is because hatred and bigotry is easier.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That's the problem.
It's so easy to be negative. It really is.
Because
isn't that weird?
Sociologically speaking, we put ourselves in these little groups. And we put ourselves in these little groups from the time we're born. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know, from the time you're born, oh, you're a man, you're a woman.
You're different than me, I don't like you.
Exactly. Like, I think sex is the best, or not the best, is the largest way that we start to segregate ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to change that. And I think our generation is changing that. And we have to learn how to desire nothing but desirelessness. Mm-hmm. We have to understand our own labels in order to get rid of them. Mm. And I think the moment, and I mean, I try not to be political, but my point is that I think that our generation, and I mentioned this previously, is that we have a means to, we have this goal to connect to this higher energy, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think doing that too, we are, I'm drunk. Move on, your card.
I was just about to say, I really need to break the seal. So you drop some knowledge. I'm going to take a little potty break, but I don't want to pause this because I do trust you to say something beneficial or whatever. But I'm going to pee and grab a couple more beers.
I need to pee and also grab some couple more beers.
Do you want to go? You can go first. I've been holding for a while.
You want to pee together?
No. Only because I need somebody to keep talking. So there's not a break.
Just pause it. Just pause it right now, and we'll take over. Just edit it to the point where it's like, hey, your card. And you're like, okay, here's my card.
Like, nothing happened. We never even paused. That's funny. Did I? Oh, this is... I don't remember taking this card. Maybe I'm more drunk than I thought. Or I just took this a long time ago.
Let me see it. What's it say? Wait, you read it.
Well... I don't want to get into it right now because I have to pee.
I also have to pee.
And we're going to pee separately.
That's true. God damn it, Zach.
And you're going to keep rolling and you're going to drop some knowledge and I'm going to grab a couple beers.
Drop some knowledge about once. Future Zach, just cut this part out. We're already fucking drunk. This isn't a wise way to go. Oh, pretty flowers. You know, he's got flowers on this windowsill here. It's pretty nice. I mean, I would expect Zach Winger would have some flowers on this windowsill, on this kitchen windowsill. That's gorgeous. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, give me spring. Yes, gorgeous. Oh, yes. Yes, no. And I'm spent. If we listen rather closely, we can hear him pissing. He's entrusted me to do quite the job of sitting here alone and just speaking whatever comes upon my mind. I'm just going to list a series of observations that I see. My glass is empty. There are 7 beers on the table which are empty. I have no clue how that happened. There's a little artist mannequin with little magnetized feet. The fish tank is red.
Dirty as hell. The water's so dirty.
That was a fast piss.
I think I pissed out at least 2 beers. So I'm ready to have 2 more.
Oh my lord. Are you going to edit this out? I hope you are.
I think I'm going to keep it in.
God damn it.
beer. We have each had 3 beers so far, and I just put 3 bottles of Budweiser on the table. And I did grab a bottle opener from Myrtle Beach. And I have 1 can of Summer Shandy left. I'm hoping that Josh will let me have the last Summer Shandy. But as a good host, he's over at my apartment right now. I'm willing to let him have the last Summer Shandy if he likes that better. But if I'm being honest, I do kind of want it for myself. Just because it is my favorite beer, and it's eventually going to be this is something I'm going to speak into existence, the official beer of the Zach Winger show eventually is going to be Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy, or just Leinenkugel's in general, because they have lots of other great beers. But Summer Shandy, I'm going to be drinking this beer all summer, let me tell you. Actually, all year round, let me tell you. So I'm really hoping that Josh lets me have it. But again, as the great host that I am totally willing to let him have it. And I'm willing to have a Budweiser, I suppose. But once Leinenkugel's becomes the official sponsor of the podcast, that will be the only beer that I'll drink on the podcast.
You know, pissing while you're drunk is a favorite pastime.
Isn't it great?
It's phenomenal.
Mine was at least 30 seconds.
It's like puking when you're drunk.
But so much easier.
Yes.
Isn't it great?
Yes. Have you ever threw up with... Yes, I recall that time. There was one time we went to a cabin in Red River Gorge. Ooh, that was a time. Was it you or was it Neil that spewed everywhere?
That's where that was Red River Gorge? Yes. I didn't know that was that. I didn't know that was where that was.
Mm-hmm. We drove down there after Lexington when we went on that trip.
Yeah. And that was Neil, by the way.
Huh? That was poor old Neil. Ah, man.
We were literally just like sitting there playing like a okay, you are taking the... Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to take the last Summer Shandy, if that's okay.
That's your beer.
I just went on to this whole spiel about how I really hope that you take the Budweiser because I really want the Summer Shandy. Because it's my favorite. But
I'm surprised you don't have a glass. I'm the only person with a glass.
See, I would, but my only other one is like, it's too big for just one beer.
Well, newsflash.
And I couldn't put Guinness in the other one, so... Newsflash. What's the newsflash?
I don't know. We've reached the end of our today's news cycle, boys and girls.
Do you see how you can see through that beer? It's not fruity.
A little bit. Wait, what?
Can you see my hand through it?
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah.
It's not fruity. You couldn't see through this one because it's fruit.
Because it's the citrus.
Lemon. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm a beer guy, so I know that.
Good old Bud. If you're a real beer guy, do you know the Budweiser jingle?
This Bud's for you?
No.
Oh, the jingle.
When you say Bud. Do you know that one?
Uh-uh.
When you say Bud, you've said a lot of things nobody's gotta say. When you say Bud, you surely are the... I forget the rest.
Yeah, that's all right.
There is no other one. There's only second best.
That's good.
Because the king of beers.
That's good.
Better than all the rest. Oh, I broke your chair.
Oh, that's all right.
Is it a snap? No, we're good.
They're really cheap, shitty chairs.
Well, I have a fat ass.
Anyway, I broke your chair.
The moral of the story
What was that? Do you know?
I don't know fucking clue.
That's okay. There's 2 other chairs. There's 3 other chairs.
Well, the backrest was attracted to the gravitational pull of my ass. And anyway, the moral of the story is when you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Nice job.
Yes, sir. Anyway, level 3.
Ready for this card?
I'm ready.
Medium drunk. That's
You're medium drunk? I've hit a second wind.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Better slam that thing.
Fuck. Don't threaten me with a good time. How many times I gotta say it?
This is the way the question... This is much easier for us to answer, and you'll see why. But it says, what can we create together?
Wow.
A good time?
I mean, we've created a good time already. It only took fucking 12 beers.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 4 each at the moment.
That's That's
Nice.
pretty toasty.
This is a record
Really?
for the show. on the show.
Well, I'm here, so that's not surprising.
There will be another I Want You On Again.
Oh.
And we'll double it next time.
We'll take LSD next time.
Also in the same amount of time. So it's like 4 times as much.
The podcast will be 12 hours long. Oh my god. Have you ever taken LSD?
No.
I recommend it.
I want to try new stuff. I'll put it at that. I do want to try new stuff. I don't want to go like too crazy though. There is stuff that like I don't think I want to try.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't want to go into the deep end.
Yeah.
With DMT and methamphetamine.
Yeah, exactly. But I would smoke some weed. I don't do it often. I haven't in a long
Hold on, you've never
time.
smoked grass in your life?
I've never smoked actual like leaf or whatever.
Oh wow.
I've used like a pen to like put me to sleep back during like my fucking crazy medical time, and then I've like taken edibles, and that was a fun time. I would absolutely do that again.
My drug of choice, I would say, is beer. And
Me too.
like, because that's like
Alcohol's a drug, right?
It is. Well, I mean,
mine's beer 1,000,000%.
I think that everybody, like, I can tell, but I think that everybody. Here's the way I see kind of addiction. Coming as a child of addiction, like, because my father had struggled with it. My mom not so much, but her mom definitely did. I would say that everybody has their drug of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if that's what you do, that's what you do. And for me, I think that the most harmful thing I really do to myself is probably all the drinking, or it's probably all the horrible eating. That's why I've gotten, like, this is really boring. But my point is that I think
people need to hear this, I think.
Okay. Well, I think that everybody has their drug of choice, and I think that that is something that you find out and something that you have to limit yourself toward and you have to be aware of.
The hard eating, I mean, that's a can of worms, but I mean, it's hard to eat right.
Yeah.
Eat healthy, like, especially where we are, like, you would drive down to Lloyd and it's like fast food, and good food is more expensive and harder to get. It's hard.
I've
really
quit
hard.
it because I went to the...
really hard.
Don't turn 25. I went to the doctor and, they suspect, neglect, inject, they suspect, neglect, inject, and detect you. Anything but respect you.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that they said I had high liver enzymes, and they sent me in for an ultrasound for I think it was fatty liver or something.
Oh.
It's because I'm obese. It's because of all them days with Little Debbie, Big Deborah as I like to call her. And
That's good. That's funny.
But no, I mean, I've come to the point in my life where eating badly has caught up with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the doctor and they said, well, you've taken my levels. How bad is it? And they're like, oh, we're not concerned about this until it's 4 or 5 times this.
Oh.
And I'm like, God, you scared me for like 3 weeks. But ever since then, I've started eating better. You know, I've switched to light beer and filtered cigarettes.
Yeah. I bought a salad the other day.
No, but you can eat better in many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Try
to avoid food with food coloring and
well, it's not only that
sugar
too. It's the carbohydrates that are everywhere. Like I mean, hot take, politically speaking.
Yeah.
But most of the diet in the American diaspora is poison.
Yeah.
We're poisoning
Seriously,
ourselves.
No, yeah, that's not. I don't even think that's a hot take. I mean, people might not realize it, and that might be what makes it a hot take. But I mean,
that's why I think beer is good for you.
I think beer is good for you.
Is because they say it's poison, and you already know that out the gate. They don't talk to you about Pop-Tarts and bread.
I can't eat
Swiss cake rolls
cereal,
and like cereal. Oh my Lord. Like all
I can't do cereal anymore. I had a phase like a couple months ago where I was like buying cereal and it was nice and it was enjoyable. It was like a nighttime snack or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I can't do it. It makes me feel like shit. It makes me feel terrible.
Mhm.
It's like there's so much sugar in such a small amount of
Dude.
And like I can't do Pop-Tarts anymore either. Pop-Tarts make me feel like awful.
Yeah. And
It's
like,
bad.
I actually think that foggy brain was like a thing due to like ADHD, but no, it's fucking diet, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, spaghetti is horrible.
I don't know why that made me laugh. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I say,
It's
spaghetti,
it's
like
cereal, Pop-Tart, like spaghetti.
cereal, Pop Tart, spaghetti. Avoid those. You should be
Yeah.
good. Is it my turn or your turn? Rock paper scissors.
I don't. No, I think it's your turn.
Fuck you.
Wait, what can we create together?
Oh,
did we
what-
ever even answer?
No, I don't think we did because we both had to have a little piss break, and somehow there's more beer on the table. And,
Where'd that come from?
Oh my gosh, you have to. Anyway. Oh, I'm gonna save that for later.
Yeah.
What can we create together? Well, I think that I wouldn't necessarily call this art. I think this is just a bunch of drunk people with a tape recorder. But I think that if you wanted to, we could create work.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that though my work is very different than yours,
Mm-hmm.
my work is all about experience, and your work is all. I would say that your work is about reflection.
I'd say so.
And
My personal work, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a documentarian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say, a fine artist.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that you're making something that is conceptual. And I'm out there trying to capture a feeling.
Yeah.
And you are, but in a different sense.
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard for us to make work together. But I don't think it's impossible.
Well, lucky for you, I have my functional art side as well.
Mhm.
So, yes, we could we could combine what you just said and like the experience and the fine art and create something moving and powerful. I really think we could put our brains together and think of something amazing
If we wanted
to make if we wanted to.
That's what I mean. In the sense that what we can create together, especially not through this. Maybe I'm just drunk.
We're creating something powerful right now.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, like, especially not like
We've already done it. We can
That's-
end right now and
yeah.
have created something good.
what I mean is that like we can create community
Mm-hmm.
in the sense
Absolutely.
that if
That's
you've ever
powerful.
read Real Artists Don't Starve, it's another great book. If you're a reader, I recommend that you read a book, and but that one in particular, it talks about community, right? For instance, C.S. Lewis, the guy who made did he make Chronicles of Narnia?
Sounds familiar.
Anyway, C.S. Lewis used to hang around J.R.R. Tolkien, right? And when he made The Hobbit, right, he was thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? They want a sequel, and I don't even know how to make a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked to C.S. Lewis, and he gave him some advice. And he said, you should make it like this, that, and this. And then he made The Lord of the Rings. Art is not about a singular person. If you look throughout history, it's always been about a community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been about communities that have a lot in common. Whether or not they're just in the same place, but because they're doing, I don't know, something similar to it. I wonder what the future will look like at our generation.
Yeah,
at the Z generation.
I think about that too.
And I wonder if they'll look at us as cool as the Beat generation. Because the Beat generation, I really fuck with.
Yeah.
Like Kerouac and Ginsberg and fucking John Cage and Warhol and those guys in the late 50s, early 60s, they were just so cool.
It seems so ahead of their time.
For sure.
It was, yeah, especially Warhol. That's the one I know out of.
And the weird thing is they're all gay. If you look, dive
you notice
into
something. Yeah.
if you dive into it, if you read On the Road by Jack Kerouac, he's like, God, Neil Cassidy's sinewy arms. It's like, Jack, I think you're
You might be gay.
I think you might be gay.
Newsflash.
Oh my lord.
That's
Newsflash. Newsflash, you're gay. Oh my god.
No, but there is. I think yes, we have created already something valuable, but we could create hypothetically a singular like piece of like fine art or whatever, if we wanted to,
Yes.
or with like your photography and my design or whatever, we create like a publication or something. If we're thinking more like literal, like what can we create physically?
Well, I think that
that would be awesome too.
I think that's now it's more, digitally than physically, and I think that's the really sad thing. In the 1960s, Warhol had the factory, and it was just a bunch of artists coming together, just making shit, because he had made so much money off of his own art that he was like, oh, let's go in and let's make art films, or let's go in and let's make screen prints.
Art for art's sake.
Art for art's sake. And he could do that simply because of his economic time. But our time is completely different in the fact that I think that we are going to be, certainly, a lost generation of sorts. I don't know. I think that we are very similar to artists in the early 1990s. That we're really deep and focusing on inflection, coming out of this, street art movement of the 1980s. And I think that in many ways that generation was lost, I don't know, to time or to death or to something like that. Like, I don't know. You ever seen movies from the early 90s? Everybody's wearing them cool glasses and they're chill as fuck. But where are they now? They're 40 years old, they got a mortgage, and they got 3 kids. They're boring as fuck. And I think our job as a generation is to quit being boring as fuck.
I get so torn in that, especially from like the graphic design side of things, because it's really easy to go like the boring, clean, simple, minimal route. And don't get me wrong, like I love doing the minimal. Like,
yes.
And I like that's one of my art
very
styles
Bauhaus of you.
But I love that. But when everybody's doing that and everybody's trying to be clean and easy to understand and like legible, it does get boring when everybody's doing it. I think when it's like one of the options, it's really, really good. But when everybody's doing it, it is tough. Like, and everybody's remaking their logo to be more clean and simple. And like it does get boring because everyone's is the same.
I'm really excited to see what we'll do when we're all 40. You know what I mean?
I think we are due for like a really big art movement.
I think so.
I don't know what it is. I feel like I can almost see it in my head.
I can see it too, and
you know
not
what
only
I mean?
just in art, but in music too.
I feel like we're ready for like a big like change. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks or sounds like.
Maybe it's gonna happen in like the 2030s, or maybe it's this late thing that's happening.
I'm ready for something new, and I'm ready to jump onto something new and ride with that. But I don't know what it looks like. I'm glad you feel this too, because I think about this a lot. Like, I want to do something new, and
I think
like,
our generation's pissed. Like, and I think that we want more, and I think that sooner or later we're going to have to reach out and grab it. And once that happens, I think that art will be completely this new thing. And actually, no, it won't be new at all. It'll be a reflection of what we consider cool in the past, because we have the sum of all knowledge at our fingertips. We're the first generation to have this. The sum of all knowledge at our fingertips from the time that we're kids.
Like our whole life. Like,
yes.
We've known it our whole life, yeah.
Everybody has their own aesthetic, yet everybody's the same. Why is that?
Yeah.
It's so strange.
That is weird.
It's a mix of the 90s and the 70s and the 80s, and I'm just wanting, like...
Why can't we just create our own...
I wish. Because I remember, last night I was watching that documentary on Apple TV about the Velvet Underground, and how the musicians got together and they were doing some, like, avant-garde stuff. And I don't think that we are at the point now where we're brave enough to embrace the avant-garde.
That's what I was just about to say, is that I think, in myself included, I think us as a generation, we're too scared to try something...
Too scared to be cringe.
New, yeah, or some new that's unheard of, or something that people aren't going to understand, or whatever it might be. It's hard to do something new and different, because it's just easy to be like, okay, well, nobody's gonna understand, or nobody's gonna like it, or whatever. But I feel like that's what we need, is like somebody to be new and different.
I think that
It's a breath of fresh air.
socioeconomically, we are not embracing the new and different. We're embracing the past. We're embracing a greater time that we were promised for ourselves. You know what I mean? Promised to our parents, promised to our grandparents, that whole ordeal. I won't dive into it too politically, but I think that's why we have a interesting attraction to the 1970s, to the 1980s, to the 1990s, is because we had, I would say our generation was not inherently blessed like other ones were. Fuck, I'm living with my folks. Mm-hmm. I know many people my age that are living with their folks. Mm-hmm. And if they were living, it wouldn't be a thing in the 1980s. Fuck. I was listening to...
You move out when you're 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I remember listening to a documentary and they said, in the early 1960s, when art was crazy, I had to pay rent for $30. If you adjust that for inflation, that's fucking...
Yeah,
dude, that's $250 a month.
Yeah.
I can't find an apartment in Louisville for less than $500 that doesn't have roaches.
Yeah, I was going to say, 500, that's a low number.
Yes.
This one's $850. Mm-hmm. And that's cheap.
Jesus Christ. That is pretty cheap. That's
that's weird to think about.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's nice or whatever. Don't get me wrong, I love this place, but
the reason that society has this obsession with young people is because in that time, the time of postmodernism of the 70s and the 80s, it was obsessed with the youth because the youth could thrive. Now we're in the time which is very similar to the 30s and 40s, where the old people have all the wealth and luxury and the ability to sustain themselves. And I feel that now we are the first generation out of that mix where young people aren't getting their dues anymore. Mm-hmm. And if they are, they're substantially lucky. And I don't know. Anyway, level 3. What we got?
I love how you just snap out of your tangents and go right back to your card. Also, this one's gone.
God damn, Zach.
I love the taste of summer shandy. It's a great beer.
I hate cocaine, just love the way it smells. Anyway,
it's a great beer. I love summer shandy. Please become the official sponsor, please. That's what I was going on about when you were in the bathroom. I was like,
you only got 6 episodes.
One day, summer shandy is going. Line Kugels as a whole, or just summer shandy, is going to be the official sponsor, the official beer sponsor of the Zach Winger Show.
It ain't gonna happen. It's gonna come through Blue Apron. I'll see you, guarantee you.
This into existence. It's got to be summer shandy.
I think beer. Wait, they don't do beer ads like they used to.
They don't.
That's
what I'm here for.
You got the time. Anyway, would you? I don't know if I'm prepared to answer this or ask this, so I'm gonna go to another one.
Oh God.
Oh, that's 2. This is a good one.
We can get deep.
I have a good one. Stupid. Boring.
You can do a deep one.
I want to do deep, but I want to do interesting as well. Because we just went on this tangent like a bunch of fucking drunks.
Yeah, I am fairly drunk, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do I need to hear right now?
You?
Yes. That's a good question.
I'm gonna... I always just go more positive, which I see as a good thing. Sometimes people will be like, you need to hear this, and it's negative, and blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You gotta stop doing this. But I'm gonna tell you what you need to keep doing is keep doing what you're doing.
I think so.
You're, I don't know if you need to hear this, but is that what it said? Something that you need to hear? Mm-hmm. Just to put it very, very short and simple, just keep doing what you're doing. Because you are doing something valuable and meaningful. And I don't know how much you believe in yourself, or how much you feel like you're doing something good for the world or whatever. But, you really are. So just keep being you and just keep doing what you're doing. That's really all I can say.
Mm-hmm. I think we live in this weird time. You know what I mean? We can't really reference it in other times. Like my mother, when she said growing up, we understood what it meant to live in the 70s. We understood what it meant to live in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we have that similar understanding. So in this weird time, I feel very similar to Gary Winogrand, one of my heroes, in the sense that he started photographing people on the street after World War II because he felt that after the bomb dropped, that after we have sold ourselves to American consumerism, that we have only lost ourselves. And I feel that in this transition time, like after 9/11, after the 2000s and entering into the 2020s, we have tried to find this meaning for ourselves in this world. It's very strange.
Mm-hmm.
I see things happening, but it's to capture that, I feel, is nothing other than a privilege. I actually have that as a sign in my darkroom. It says in bold print, "Remember, it is a privilege to do this job." And that's how I feel, certainly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You should rename the show.
To what?
Two Drunk People.
That's funny. That's good.
I'm not drunk, I'm fine.
So where does this clear card come into play?
That is where
if like you don't give a deep enough answer, I'm like, do deeper.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason it's clear is to be transparent. And
beautiful.
Your turn. You pick a card. Number 3.
Level 3. All right. We'll do a couple more cards each, and then I want to end on like advice for the listener.
Yes.
And then I feel like
I think this is your longest episode.
I think the first one was like 2.5.
Oh fuck!
But since then, I've been trying to like keep it kind of under control.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, the first one was kind of like an oddball, and like it was with like my 2 friends from home, and we talked about like gambling for like 45 minutes. We were talking about gambling and then drinking, and then it turned really wholesome and positive. But
do yourself a favor, edit most of this and keep the good parts.
Oh no, we're doing the whole thing.
Oh god damn it!
It's real. It's authentic.
It is real. Authentic.
So I don't think it'll be quite the longest episode, but since I've kind of started to...
Hey, I've always been a record breaker. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Since I kind of found like a formula and whatnot, this has been the longest episode, which is a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
There's a formula, all right.
What is that supposed to mean?
As involves more beer.
That is part of the formula.
Whoops.
I think a little bit of liquid courage is no problem.
This is liquid slurridge, if you haven't noticed.
I think we're speaking pretty clearly.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm trying to speak more clearly.
We're going to listen to this back, and this is going to be...
I can't understand a thing we're saying.
This is going to be exactly like it is in fucking college, man. You get stoned, you turn on a tape recorder, and you're like, oh my god, I got the best idea ever.
Yeah.
But no, this is just 2 drunk people in a room.
Hey, and that's... I think there's some value in that.
I think so.
I really do.
Maybe there is.
That's a stupid question.
What's your sign?
That means that you're a very smart person.
What's the question?
I think it was this one. That's the one I said was stupid.
Yeah, this is a stupid question. That's why I put it back myself.
Oh, really? I'm getting some bad ones. Come on. We need something juicy.
Something
Can you tell that I'm struggling to read because I'm supposed to wear glasses and I'm not wearing glasses?
That's right, you do wear glasses.
They've been broken for... You know what's funny? Christian broke my glasses.
During his episode?
We were playing basketball like a year and a half ago.
Why did you play basketball with your glasses on?
I just wore them all the time. And the ball... They were like fragile at this point anyway. They're old, but the ball like hit me in the face. Like somehow like... Whatever Christian did, the ball hit me in the face.
Oh, man.
Broke, whatever. So I've been living without glasses for a while. I've survived. I can drive without my glasses, but I technically have a restriction on my license. I'm not supposed to drive without my glasses, but I've been driving without my glasses every day.
I'm living on the edge.
If I get pulled over, I do have a pair of fake glasses in my car that I would put on very quickly You're like, oh, I don't know.
Zach, this is Evansville.
I am admitting.
I was about
crime.
to say that driving here is ridiculous. Do you know they've been working on the road for 2 fucking years, and they still haven't repaved it.
4 more years at least.
What the hell?
It's not gonna be done for a long time.
At this point, why do we even have a 4-lane highway? We've been doing just fine with the 2-lane. Turns out Jesus was with us the whole time. That's the story.
Ain't that?
Anyway, say the card.
This might be a good one.
Okay.
What is a lesson you will take away from our conversation?
Okay, that is a good one.
Drink more beer.
Drink more beer. Live more life.
Drink beer and just be happy.
A lesson that I think is that, I brought this game thinking that we would be pretty, it's a twist off, you don't need a bottle opener.
Yeah, I just like to use a bottle opener.
That's the lesson.
It's just fun to use a bottle opener.
The lesson that I think is that bringing this game here, I think that we're closer. The lesson that I've learned is that I think we're closer than I thought we were.
Sorry, it really is a twist off.
God damn.
I can see the...
I'm trying to be deep here, god damn it.
I'm on my 3rd different company of beer for the day.
Hey, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
I only need 1 more.
Anyway, no, the lesson I learned is that I think we're actually closer than I think we are. Even though we haven't, I would say that I've known you more in passing, that I haven't really had a one-on-one with you in quite some time. And, yeah, I'm very glad. And I will say that the lesson that I have learned is that I should have sent that fucking letter that I promised you.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, I never got that in the mail.
I was going to bring it with me, dude.
That would have been good.
I was going to bring it with me. And, because I wanted to bring it with me because... But I didn't because it said enclosed are some photographs that I took, but I never printed the photographs. So I'm number 1, am a fucking liar. Number 2, but I've always been a notoriously poor correspondent. But once you do get my correspondence, I assure you that it is very, very eloquent.
I check my mail every day. So the day that I get them, not for that. I check it in general.
I got to rewrite the letter.
But the day that I get that in the mail, I'll do something crazy. I'll do a backflip. I'll do something crazy.
Okay.
Do a backflip. Did we answer the question?
I think so.
Okay.
I think the lesson that I learned is that we're far closer than I thought we were.
Good, yeah.
Which is great. I'm glad we're close.
Yeah, I think so too. We have a lot in common.
What do you think my weakness is?
Jesus. I feel like that's a little fucked up.
Don't say thick Latinas.
Like, where do I even start? This.
Thick Latinas. Boys that look like Chicken Little.
6 beers? Is that your weakness?
Oh. I mean, yeah, if you want to look at the surface. 6 beers could be anybody's weakness.
I don't know. I don't know how I am supposed to answer that.
It's a tough one.
What is your weakness? I'm going to start with saying I don't know. I don't know what your weakness is, which I see as a good thing.
Which is good because it tells me my autistic mask is really good.
It's really good. But I can see your weakness being, and I don't know if this is true or not. This is kind of just me trying my hardest to come up with something.
Okay.
But would be like people giving you a hard time or like people being like negative or something. And I don't know if there's any truth to this or whatever, but I can see that being something difficult for you to deal with is just like negative people who are like very different or like opposite from you as far as like positivity level. I can see that giving you a hard time and be like a weakness, maybe you don't like handle it so well. But I don't know. I mean, like, that was me, like, really, like, trying my hardest to come up with something. But I don't know. Obviously, like, everybody has their own, like, flaws or weaknesses or whatever.
I would say my biggest weakness, and I've talked about it before, is about talking about, the ego. In a similar way. I mean, I remember once I was shooting this band in a studio session, and they had this other videographer in there. He was a younger guy, and like, he reminded me of myself in the sense that he was turning over, and I'm like, "Gosh, it's really dark in here." And he's like, "Well, you should really lower your shutter speed to kind of get a darker angle." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
But I felt like he was, I felt similar to the fact that he was wanting to connect by wanting to help. My weakness is, I feel that everybody needs help.
Yeah.
And
you can't help everybody.
That's true. And I also feel that like people are very people.
I'm starting to get the beer hiccup.
Good old beer hiccup.
That was a big one. That brought my head all the way from here all the way back here.
Anyway, but I feel that people are very vulnerable to criticism in a similar way. I think that's what a lot of people are. I think that
it's hard to deal with it.
I'm very glad that I studied art because I'm not very vulnerable to criticism.
We're used to it at this point, aren't we?
I think so.
It's hard to deal with.
Here's the crazy thing is that when I was in college, when I went to art class, people said, "Well, I think it's shit, and I think I need to start over." People were like, "Yeah, you're right. I really didn't put a lot. I didn't put my full pussy into it, and I really just need to redo it."
Yeah.
In liberal arts, when I studied like journalism and something like that, when somebody said, "Well, I don't think your story goes really into depth with something," they were so offended. And it's not an attack on the character.
No.
But
you want the best result that's possible, and I see what you're saying.
The greatest lesson I got out of school was how to handle criticism.
It's super important because otherwise, you think you're making something good and you like it and you think it's hitting the point, but then like somebody will tell you like, "Hey, like this really isn't working."
Yeah.
I don't know. You need to hear that. Like, yeah. And it's hard to understand sometimes, sure, but
biggest critique I ever got was from Rob, and he made me cry.
Mine was from Ethan.
Really?
It made me pretty upset.
What did he say? My critique, actually, I want to say what did he say, but his was probably really deep, and mine was probably, Rob gave me...
Mine was more like a punch in the face.
Mine was more like hit me in my heart, soul kind of little place, and I'm a lot better than I think I am kind of place. And it was a good critique, but it still made me cry. Yeah. But I am curious, and if you're willing to share.
Yeah, I'm willing to share.
Okay.
You want to share my heart? Ethan told me and I love Ethan to death, and I needed to hear this because there's some truth to it for sure, absolutely. But it was the collage I made of it's like a full 1-to-1 real life ratio of my whole body printed, ripped apart, put back together in like a collage, and there was like medical notes all over it and like stapled together. It was that one. And my penis right in the middle of
the WINGER.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember there were some kids coming up and it's like, "Oh my gosh, you got to go upstairs to see the WINGER."
That's hilarious.
That was a
good insight.
That was a hard time for you, I recall.
Yeah. But Ethan, he said he looked at it and we were having this critique and people were saying whatever, and I loved it. Like I thought that I really hit the mark on this one. And Ethan was like, "It just doesn't feel like art."
Oh.
And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Like,
I
was like, "This is art."
I get what he's saying.
But he was saying, I think what he was getting at was like, it feels too like real, and like having like the actual medical, like, because I included in there like my literal actual medical notes and like reports and stuff. He said it just felt too like real versus like art. And to me, I was like, well, that's kind of like the point, and blah blah. And I'm obviously gonna have like my own. To this day, like I still think like I hit the whatever. Like it made sense to me and it was valuable to me, but I can totally see to other people they're like, yeah, like it doesn't feel like art. It's just
yeah.
I understand. But in the moment, I was like, what the fuck?
I remember that piece because it was, and I will say that I did feel the same because I feel that it was a stepping stone to something greater. Mm-hmm. And I still believe that.
I think it was really close to being something like, boom.
But looking into it, it's very strange because, like, you know, when people think about art and they think about the wide variety of artists, you think that there would be more artists that talked about their experience with cancer. Mm-hmm. But no, there's not a lot of
it. A lot.
I think Jenny Saville was one of the only ones that I recall because she was one of the YBAs and she had an experience with breast cancer.
Sorry, I really have to pee again.
Piss right now. I don't give a fuck.
This is really valuable what you're saying.
Hold it.
I really have to pee.
Hold it, dude.
If I want to focus.
I'm talking about Jenny Saville right now. Come on.
I'll listen from the bathroom, but I really gotta go.
No.
So just keep going.
Oh my God, he overdid it. And it's very apparent. Oh my Lord. No, but his work often reminded me of Jenny Saville, who I believe she did a piece on breast cancer in the 2010s. But she was one of the YBAs, the young British artists, who were emerged in the early 1990s in England that had really showed how art was changing. Though my critique of Zach's work in particular was that he didn't necessarily have a piece that was as forthcoming as he thought it would. His piece, though I think was very reflective of his time dealing with testicular cancer, I feel that I had very hard struggle relating to it. When I feel that it would have been much better if he related to core concepts of the human soul, such as fear in general. Mm-hmm. And medical fear, which I have, I've experienced quite a bit, I would say. I was born with thyroid disease. Mm. I've, had doctors since I was a kid. And it's very weird to talk to people, that never had doctors before. And recalling back to that letter I was going to send you, I wanted to say, I'm very glad that we've gone closer over these 5 years. I remember that time when you were first diagnosed. Mm-hmm.
You were taking pictures of me, and I was like, I have cancer. And you were like, what?
I remember.
Yeah, you were the photographer on that shoot.
I was taking pictures of you for Candid Magazine at the University of Southern Indiana, and I was like, I really like your vibe. I want to bring you into the studio, and you're like, well, I can't.
I got it, yeah.
You have cancer. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. And around this area, it's really not surprising because of the amount of shit we put in the water.
Yeah.
And that's not like some health... You ever seen not Deepwater Horizon, what's the word? Dark Water? It's a movie where they talk about how they put a lot of the runoff for the Teflon factories into the Ohio River. That's why I have thyroid disease. You've had testicular cancer.
Maybe.
And no, I'm serious. That's the one things it targets. It targets breasts, pancreatic, testicles, and the thyroid.
Wow.
I'm serious. They put it in the Ohio River, and that's a large reason why we have a lot of the...
fuck you, whoever put that shit in the fucking Ohio River.
Fucking Dave.
I didn't get that shit until I came to Evansville. I'll tell you that much. So it makes sense to me.
Hey, what can I say?
Coincidence? I don't know.
My balls are just tougher. You got weak balls.
I got your thyroid. I got my testicle.
It's very true. Very true. My fucking thyroid. I got thyroid on both sides of my family. Fucking genetics. Great. That's why I'm not having kids. Oh.
Think so?
I am
That's
not.
what you're committed to?
I think... Here's the thing.
Is that what... Go ahead.
My lifestyle, going out every night and shooting musicians, or going out to clubs, or going out and traveling far distances, it's not a lifestyle which is simpatico with a fucking...
taking care of a baby.
With taking care of a baby and not taking care of a relationship.
But are you going to do that forever? Till the day you die?
I want to.
then
I love it.
Then that's valid.
But my point is that I think I'm not meant to have children. There's at one time in my life where I wanted to be a father, and now that I have grown, I just don't think it's for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, who am I to say, like, you should change your mind or whatever? Because I just feel like that's everybody's, like, go-to thing. It's like, I want to be a father. Like, I want to provide for whoever.
Yeah.
If that's not what you want, then that's not what you want.
I mean, I think it's a very big thing with heteronormativity, for sure. And,
it's like the easy answer.
It's the easy answer. Not only that, but I feel that, like, when I grow, or the more that I've lived, I've realized is that, as James Brown, who had said it best, and I've said this to many people, you pay the cost to be the boss. Pay the cost to be the boss. Anyway,
but there's a lot of
the cost is different for everybody, and I think that that's one of the costs of it. And I'm not angry about it. I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I look at my brother, whom I love dearly, but I mean, mental health is not exactly
it's no joke.
A platitude within my family.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a shining beacon within my family. And when I give birth to a child, or not me personally, but if I, ever have a child, I suspect. Not suspect. I subject it to a history of mental illness, a history of thyroid disease, a history of unwellness.
Isn't that just sad, though?
It is sad. I mean, because I think everybody fucks up their kids to some degree.
I feel like that's so sad, though, to feel like you're doing someone justice by not putting them through that. Mm-hmm. But that's so, like, that's I don't know, that's heartbreaking.
It is sad.
To me. Because I know people like that who come from fucked up families, and, like, I've heard stories of, like, people don't want to have a kid because they don't think they can create the best environment for it. I'm like, God, I'm like, that hurts so bad to hear. Like,
I mean, I'm 25 now. I wouldn't be able to make the best environment for him.
Right now,
speaking. Right now, of course.
That's what I was gonna get at earlier. Is like, obviously, like, right now, like, I don't think anybody like our age is like ready. Well, also what I've heard is, like, nobody's ever like ready to have a kid because you never know how it's gonna go. But like us right now, the way that we're living our lives might be in a more, like, selfish way, and that's okay because we're young.
I think selfishness to a degree is
good.
Is good.
I think so too. I will die on the hill. Like, I think it's good to a certain extent. Too much of anything is bad, but yes, I totally agree. But right now, no, I'm not ready. I can barely take care of myself. You think I can take care of a kid?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Either that or we're going to have the most well-rounded children that there are. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, if I ever have kids, in the sheer accident that I do have a child, like, I'm like, fucking no, you're going to play with blocks and you're not going to you're not going to even see a television screen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But I will, they're going to be the fucking, like, they're going to be the greatest kid ever.
Probably.
Whoever, like, my kid's going to be, like, they're going to be great.
I met with school teachers, man. They said that the children of millennial parents, they're iPad kids. But the children of Gen Z parents, they're like, they're very well-rounded. They learn how to read faster. They learn how to, and it's because that we understand if we're going to fuck up our kids, we might as well fuck them up in the right way. Fuck them up with knowledge and the truth.
Yeah, might as well. That's fun.
Anyway.
I feel like we're at a good time.
I think so too.
My ending segment that I always want to end on is advice for the viewer.
Yes.
Or the listener. Because nobody watches a podcast, you listen to the podcast.
Well, that's self-evident. You're just drunk.
Yeah. If either one of us can start, I'm okay with whichever order.
You go ahead. I'm thinking of my words.
But so advice for the viewer is the last thing I want to end on a positive note, so that people can, if we've talked total nonsense this whole entire time, so that somebody can take something away from this episode. I want to try and make it a little bit different each time. Last time I said I want people to tell people you love them.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Tell people that you love them. And spread love and all that. And I still think that's very, very true. But my advice for today will be, like I said earlier, to slow down and live in the moment, live in the present. Don't worry about stuff that you've done in the past. Don't worry about stuff that you need to do in the future or the way that your future might look like. Just worry about nothing. Don't worry about anything. Just exist right now. Slow down. Ground yourself. Think about you're a human on the earth, in the Milky Way, in the universe. Everything is okay. Just slow down, take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. That's my advice, is to understand that everything is going to be okay and that this really is a beautiful life that we live. It's so... We have so much to be thankful for that we overlook every single day. Just slow down.
Mm-hmm.
That's my advice.
Well, you're drunk.
I had to close my eyes. I had to close my eyes for that whole thing so that I could really lock in.
No, that was really beautiful. My thing that I want to say is that life is a roller coaster, and what I've learning in my life is that the worst times of your life, when you're feeling that despair, just remember is that you're feeling this because it goes up and then it goes down again. The best thing you can do is to ground yourself, similar to what you said, is in the moment. And the more you want in this world, the more the universe will leave you wanting. If you acknowledge every day that you're already wealthy with what you have, then the universe will give you things depending on how you want it, just to keep up with the balance of nature. Life waxes and wanes, and so does the moon. That is the nature of things. It is not gray. It is not black. It is not white. It is gray. That's the... Thank you, Carr. Son of a bitch. Let me start over.
Yeah, actually, please do start over.
Anyway, my point is that...
He's on a fucking phone call in the car. I was hoping that wasn't going to pick up, and I don't know if it did, but...
You're fine. Let's just cut this out.
But it's good, even though you already said it once, people need to hear that again, so...
Anyway, my point is that life is a roller coaster. It waxes and wanes, just like the moon, and thus is nature. Nature is the way that it's always been. It's not black and white, it's always gray. And to live in that gray space, to live in presence, is the way to go. And to learn to live in presence is very hard, but once you do live in presence, you can begin to manifest the reality that you wish. If nothing matters, then going out into the world and existing without your safety net is so very, very simple. And I'll end this saying and replicating what Bob Gruen said at the end of his book. And that is to go in peace, to live in peace, and to imagine peace. The end!
That's beautiful. That's good. That's really good. This is a great episode.
I think so.
Thanks for joining me.
Danke.
This has been a great episode.
I just came here for the beer.
This has been a really great episode. Seriously,
I feel it was good. I think we put our pussy into that.
I think so too. I put my whole pussy into that. That's really good. That's really good. This is...
How should we say goodbye?
I like to say I love you.
I love you. Cheers. Hell yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.